What's up, man?
What's up, chillin'? Like a villain. Let's get it.
All right.
Everybody good over here?
That's what I'm talking
Yeah, we're good. We're good, baby.
Coaches, they say.
Ain't no panicking, man. I love it. I knew it, man. Y'all vets.
No need to panic.
Yeah, we chilling, dog. Really
These
chilling.
are the things we already knew, right? Or should
Exactly.
know.
Yeah, definitely knew this.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Wait, baby. What you saying, dog?
No,
Come on.
Yeah, the final word, game 1 reactions and game 2 preparation, baby. So we got to talk.
The final word.
Let's go.
Come on. The final word.
Yeah, man, y'all came for this final word. We got something to say about game 1. Let's go.
Talking about this is the best night show on the planet. Come on.
The
final word.
the final word.
The final word.
The final word.
Go.
The final word.
The
Might
final
start
word.
freestyling, man. I'm feeling it. The final word. I'm feeling it.
I said the final word.
Let's go.
Get it. Hit that like, share, and subscribe.
Let's go.
The final word. Salute to all my real ones. Let me see some blue hearts in the chat.
Blue hearts. Blue hearts. Come on. Wave your hands side to side. If you ain't scared of being 0-1.
You started off 0-1 last year, right?
That's right. Good.
It was a lot better though last year.
The final word.
Good.
Uh-oh.
Let's go.
I believe this defense played better than week 1 this year versus last year.
It definitely did.
Yeah.
It kept us in the game.
We just didn't have two things that match. Peanut butter, no jelly. That's us,
final
man. It's
word.
Cowboys.
It's not surprising.
Peanut
Not
butter,
surprising at all.
no jelly.
No cereal, no milk, no ham, no burger.
He said, boy, you better put some water in this.
Well,
Put some water in this.
hey, man.
Final word.
Sometimes you gotta, when you hungry, you just gotta eat.
Want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
Come on down the tunnel
Come on down
to the
baby.
final word.
Baby, I just wanna run it up.
What you want to do, baby?
Check us out. I've been really in the field, let up. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
What?
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Won't
Kinda check us out.
it
Lately,
up
I just wanna run it up.
every day.
Count that too, count it up, count it up, count it up, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now.
You with Law, baby.
I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with
Law.
Chuck now.
Come on with it.
Still the same, not switching sides, now it's that
Let's go.
loyalty. Used to
Let them
size up
wait.
for the bag, and that's
All
worth more
day.
to me. I mix Nike with designer,
talking
I
to my
experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit.
Too legit.
I've been really in the field,
And I
rush, I let it
have.
feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
I do.
Run it all the way up, man.
All right, man. Well, that's what we gonna do.
Yo.
That's what we gonna do, man. All right, so what's up, fellas? We go always kick it off with
What
you,
up?
Big. We go always kick it off with you, bro.
man.
You sure y'all want to do that? Kick it off with me? I got a lot to say, but I won't do it.
Yeah, that's
I won't say a lot.
So let's
I
go.
won't say a
big
lot.
dog.
My first question.
Why you
and
smiling?
gotta answer. I'm just saying. My first question to Law. Before we had our last session, I asked you, "Is this team different?" You said yes. Where is this team different? Answer that right quick.
On the defensive side of the court.
No. We already talked. Defense was gonna be good though. We already knew. You said this team was different the whole way around. You said this team is different from last year. It's different. It's gonna be better. And what we saw was not better. Yes, you saw a good defensive team, but we knew this team was going to be good defensively. We knew this team was going to be offensively challenged, and it happened again. We knew these things about Kellen Moore. We were all sitting back on our seats waiting to see if Kellen Moore was going to do those same things, and he did. Devin White called it out. He had a video. He said exactly what they're going to do. Other players are saying it too. So you had Noah Brown, who I said nobody's scared of him. You had Dennis Houston. Okay, but Dak Prescott, I loved him. He didn't play great, overthrew some passes. Okay, a lot of those things that we talked about was going to happen. So, and Mike McCarthy distances himself away from Kellen Moore, and now we hear he don't even know the offense. So once again, Law, where do you tell me this team is different?
I will say it again, and then I did preface in my statement with that whole conversational piece. You saw I did moonwalk back just a little bit, and I did say that hey man, all these pisses coming my way.
Back.
But I did moonwalk just a little bit. I moonwalked just a little bit. I did. Well, God, no. I moonwalked back a little bit when I said 2007, this offense haven't changed since then. And then I went and spoke to Isaiah Stanback, and this rascal said, yeah, it did, but I didn't want to push back. I didn't want to argue with Isaiah Stanback. But collectively speaking, Big Game James, the offense been the same since 2007. The defense changed. We can see the differences on the defensive side of the coin. Last game we played, there were 10 penalties, right? 8 out of the 10 came from the offensive side of the coin. So I truly believe the hiccups and all of the pain and trials and the tears, the trail of tears that from the Cowboys community is coming from the offense. That's the thing. They love Kellen Moore, who is a derivative of Scott Linehan, who slashed Jason Garrett. Those are things still the same.
So once
outside
again,
of that,
that's
the team
what
is
I
different,
say,
though.
Law.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The team is not different. The team is worse right now. You know why?
Why?
Because you lost those weapons. I can honestly say that you probably could have used Amari Cooper in that game. You probably could have used him because it may have been more of a threat because you weren't scared of a Noah Brown. You weren't scared. And here's the thing. Kevontae Turpin, I said the only way the Cowboys can win this game against the Buccaneers if we see some heavy Kevontae Turpin. We didn't see none of him. No receiver sets. And they said, we're going to put Tony Pollard in the slot. He going to catch passes from the slot. We ain't see all that. They're going to say, we're going to run the ball. We run the ball. Jerry Jones came on TV and said, Zeke, the team goes through Zeke. We go through Zeke. We're going to run the ball at 18 carries. Once again, didn't we talk about that, Law? If you run over 20 times, Dallas has a better chance of winning, and they ran 18 times, right? So right there, those are a few things. And then, like you said, Kevontae Turpin, he's going to play some receiver. We like him. We're going to throw him in there. We like him playing receiver. He got no snaps of receiver, I believe. So once again, it's the same old thing. And the front office, just like you said, Law and Boss, allows this, okay? Because here's the thing. They were talking about CeeDee Lamb. Okay, yeah, CeeDee Lamb got to get better. He got to continue to show he's the number one. We think he can. They said we think. That means they don't believe because they didn't believe it a few months ago when they said they were questioning his alpha energy. So now they're already starting the undercuts and the sabotage with him. They're already doing that. We already talked about with the scapegoating.
Wait, hold on, Big. You can't do a whole show in the first segment, dog.
Sorry. I'm done. I'll leave it alone.
That boy went through about 7 topics, bro.
Sorry. I'm just saying.
And put the butter knife down, man. Stop shaking me with the butter knife.
It was all in the conundrum. It was in the conundrum.
Say, man, hold on. Let me hit your button early.
Hey, I love being a Cowboy.
Big Game James.
Game changer.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
That's the only thing I can say is down, Big Game James. Down. God,
Down,
my boy
God.
ready to fight.
This is no hat, Big Game James. We don't have that hat on. Shoot, he ready to come.
No,
for
wear
war.
no Cowboys hat. You see it in the back. Ain't wear no Cowboys hat. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, you good. I got something for you, dog, that we gotta talk about.
Okay.
We gotta talk about this. So I'm gonna pull this up real quick.
Hey, before why you doing that, man? Big Game James, dog, you won.
Yeah. My dog.
I like that, Long. I like that. Do that again, Long. Do that again.
My dog.
You won.
My dog.
I'm gonna
My
take.
dog. I wasn't trying to win, but I feel
No, you won. So
like
I'm gonna
that.
take that L, and then what size bottle you want, man? Boss, what
big
size?
bottle of Henny,
No,
dog.
wait a minute.
No bet.
No. I'm
No
talking
bet.
about you.
Like nobody won that bet, dog.
On Simi.
Nobody won
Okay,
because
good.
see, my guy wasn't even activated.
That's
Okay.
what I forgot about it.
So my guy wasn't activated, and your guy didn't. You know, your guy, he. So
Simi Uncle.
yeah, no crown for me,
Man.
and no Henny for you, big dog. That's how it
No
go.
crown and no Henny. All right, cool.
Yeah, that's how it go. That's a fair bet to me. Is that fair?
Okay.
All right.
That's fair.
Now, I want to get down to this meat, y'all. Y'all know. Let's dig into the sauce. Y'all ready?
Yeah, we
Let
ready.
the church say amen. Let's go.
Last year we learned that
Amen.
they really wasn't going to commit to the run game, and the runs that they did, they was going to try to get outside and not run into the interior. But most of the running game was quick game. A lot of curls, a lot of hitches, a lot of slants and stuff. So we kind of knew that going in, so we was able to attack it.
Damn. We've been talking about that since the camera on me. Kellen Moore be getting these Crayolas out, man, and putting it all in the coloring book, making it all pretty. But that is the level of the offense that we see, and I'm not trying to shank that man with the butter knife, because if so, it will be a real
Shank him.
machete. It will be a machete, because I will shred this man. Here's the thing. A lot of people been talking about, hey, Law, you've been banging on the table. We the number one offense. Yeah, in total points and total yards. But I want to tell you guys, when you go into the deeper details, under the surface, you will also see within the confines of us being the number one offense that we were 24th to 25th in red zone efficiency. Let that sink in. So now that you take the big playmakers away, and then you open up your eyes and you see that the Crayola box, the Sharpies, and all of the construction paper that he got in his hand, yes, they're colorful, but it don't stack up to anything as it relates to taking away what the defenses or the opposing team's trying to do. This is a system-led offense, whereas they don't count on nobody being the big chief in the building. And that, my friend, is the number one problem with this particular team. On top of that, it's making my dog CeeDee Lamb looking like some doo-doo and some spam, baby, because that's the only word they can rhyme with that, by the way. But I'm going to tell you guys, everybody else add to their superstar. The Cowboys are the only team in the National Football League take away from their stars.
Man.
So where do we feel like, once again, I got to go back to that CeeDee Lamb thing where I heard Stephen Jones saying we think, and he's got to basically prove to us. They already said it in the offseason.
Yeah.
He's got to prove to us that he's the number one. Like I said, the sabotage already began. Now, we already heard CeeDee Lamb come after the game. When we get some momentum, we change it up. You're already talking. So guess what? You about to get it too. It's about to come to you. You about to get it next, and they're going to keep on doing this thing where they ain't got to pay nobody. The only player that's going to really get paid out of this is Micah Parsons, because he's just so damn good. They ain't got no choice to do it.
Right.
But if Stephen Jones had his way, he wouldn't pay none of them like that. He wouldn't do it. He keeps staying with these rookie contracts and these young players. And once again, I'm going to go back to this. He always talking about we want to build it this way. That's fine. That's okay. Right. But when I hear you taking gambles on young players, you're taking gambles, because if you swing and miss on those draft picks, you're setting your team back. So you're putting all your chips in the table on these young drafted players because they're cheap. but you won't go out there and spend a few dollars on some players who've been there and done it to take your team to the next level. You are guessing when you get those young rookies. You never seen them. At least you don't have to guess as much as you got quality players have already been there and done it and proved their worth. But you don't want to pay people their worth. And then the thing I hear with Jerry, it's just the same old thing. It's just mouth talk. And when you allow, I hear him criticizing everybody else, but I don't hear him, Stephen Jones, saying play calling got to get better.
Ooh.
Kellen Moore got to get better.
Get him.
Kellen Moore got to start doing this. This is what Kellen Moore's got to start doing. He points the fingers at the CD Lambs. He points the fingers at the Dak Prescotts. He points the fingers at the things that he probably don't want to pay in. Or anything, Mike McCarthy. Those guys. It's those guys. You know what I mean? But it's not Kellen Moore, because I haven't heard Stephen Jones come out and say Kellen Moore's got to get better.
When you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud too.
Let me say this too, Big Game James. Stephen Jones, yes, that may be his boy. Jerry Jones did say in an interview, I believe a couple of days ago, that it would be nice if our offense can make the necessary adjustments. I wonder who he was talking about. He didn't name drop, by the way.
Yeah.
He did say that.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. It's starting to heat up a little bit on Kellen. It's starting to be like a whisper, though.
We got to continue to apply the pressure. If we continue
we
apply the pressure. I think Coach Marv was right. We may be underground, but our voices are being, echoed throughout the airways and the Cowboys aura. And some people are picking up what we were saying. Coach Marv, right? Shout out to Coach Marv.
Shout out to Coach Marv. OC, what you got?
Shout out to Coach Marv.
Well, man, here's the deal,
OC?
man. What's up, guys? How y'all doing,
up,
fellas?
OC?
It's good, man.
What's up,
man?
Salute.
What a hoodie at, OC?
Man, what a hoodie?
He's LL Cool J.
And we ain't gonna even let you talk, bro. Ever since you put on the hoodie, we're not gonna even let you talk no more, man. Until you go get the
hard
hoodie.
as hell.
Hey, I'm gonna go get the hoodie. I'm gonna get the hoodie in a couple minutes, but let me drop this real quick. This is a revelation that I've come to after watching some film earlier today and thinking about this offense. We know this, but I'm going to explain why. They never, ever, ever, never, ever, never, ever should have let Amari Cooper get out of this building, because it is too much pressure on CD Lamb. When CD Lamb faces good cornerbacks, he doesn't have the elite vertical burst to beat people one-on-one, man. He is shifty. He's shaky going side to side. He has good releases, but in terms of being able to burst and big play and take the top off the defense and really separate from people, I don't really think that's his game. I think he truly needs somebody else that can actually stretch the defense, take some pressure off of him so that he can actually get work done underneath and one-on-one versus some inferior players. And Kellen Moore, man, it's just better game planning, and it's sticking with what works. Listen, Ezekiel Elliott works. Ezekiel Elliott has been vintage. This game, he was vintage. He looked very good, and we went away from him. So when you do things like that, and you don't have explosive wide receivers on the outside, and you don't really have your quarterback playing well, unfortunately, up until the point he got hurt, Dak didn't play well this game. Then that's a recipe for disaster. Me and Boss Cowboy was talking about this yesterday, is that, man, your defense is good in certain rotations. Your defense is really, really good, but your defense can hold offenses down to a point, but at some point that defense is going to break, and you're going to have to score points to help your defense and to win some of these football games.
Hey, y'all, I got to ask y'all a question, all right? Because let's slow this down. I want to really slow this down, okay? Let's read the quote so we can just kind of, let's just read it. So we can just go through it slow and break this down. So let's start with the quotation. He said, it's in the middle. Last year, can we just start with that real quick?
Yeah.
Can we just start with that he basically said we didn't have to even look at anything different because we got everything that we needed to see from y'all last year.
Yeah.
Game one.
Can we slow this down a little bit? Let's just slow this down. Okay, last year. So what does that say when you go a whole 365 games and then it's year one and then they say, All we did was watch our first film to know how to beat you.
Because we're saying that you have an underdeveloped offensive scheme with a underdeveloped and not fully mature offensive coordinator that does not give you different looks. He does not change formations and manipulate you and force you to get in uncomfortable situations in the secondary by route combinations, by personnel groupings. It's very, very vanilla. So I know pretty much what you're going to do, which actually, guys, is a testament to the strength of this team. Contrary to what a lot of people say, it's going to be the offensive line because we were running that football down there fast.
Even though they knew what we was going to do. All right, let me keep going, OC. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. Because we started with the first breakdown of last year. Indictment on Kellen Moore right there. Number 2, let's see what he said. We learned from last year. They really weren't going to commit. Can we slow down right there? Let's just slow down right there. Like, what's your thoughts on them knowing from last year that we wasn't go commit?
When you play the tendencies, and it goes back to what I said earlier. If the Cowboys kill the opposition sometimes with Dalton Schultz, he's pretty good, these defenses will say, all right, cool. I would allow Dalton Schultz to kill us, right? Because he's not going to give big chunk plays. I would double up and bracket cover CD Lamb. Oh, excuse me. If you're not committed to the run, then even if you gash us for 5 to 6 yards, I know that you won't go back to it and consistently do what killed us because you are stubborn to a degree. And let me say this because I heard a lot of people commenting earlier. Justin Jefferson is really good. Is really good, but let me open up this too. And the Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers, by the way, didn't you guys know that even though Justin Jefferson ate, they had a running back who had 20 touches for 90 yards, and their backup running back had 8 touches for over 30 yards. Don't you guys know that that's committing to the run? Both of those guys averaged north of 4.5 yards, which allow Justin Jefferson to also eat because now you play some real football. You're playing some real football, man. That's real. Yep. It's a balanced approach. Look up the box score. Stop highlighting only the player that's eating without looking at the game. The game's supposed to be balanced. And if you want to do things overly on one end, it will have to be rushing of the ball. I digress.
All right, let me get some more in there, OC, real quick, and then go. All right, because I want to get through this just real quick. He said also, last year we learned that they really weren't going to commit to the run, and the runs that they did, they were going to try to go outside and not run into the interior. But most of the passing game, so now he done transition. So he was like, this is what we knew about the run. Now let's talk about what we know about them as the pass. He said, but most of the passing game was quick. A lot of curls, a lot of hitches, a lot of slants, a lot of Okoye. I already broke this down himself last year by the film. So we are looking at the exact same offense as we all predicted. What was you gonna say? And then he said we kind of knew that going in, so we was able to attack it. This is the worst thing about this too. Before you go, OC, this is the worst thing about this. The whole time we was saying we're going to run the ball. We're going to be physical. And they was basically saying we don't believe you. We don't believe you. Because our words were saying going into the game, we're going to have a new identity. We're going to be physical. And they was sitting back like, nah, y'all go dink and dunk. Y'all go to Schultz. Yeah, we go put 7 in the back. And y'all go keep throwing into it like some big dummies. And we go stop the run one time and y'all go stop running because y'all scared.
Hey, boss, before you let OC go in, I apologize, OC. But, boss, can you explain to the nation as a defensive back, how would you sit on curls and hitch routes? How do you already sit on those routes? Can you just break that down for the OC go in?
That's like
if you
butter,
already know
bro.
what they're going to do?
See, that's butter. And see, you raising the hell of a point right there. So what corners do and what linebackers do. When you know they finna run in a bunch of hitches, you hardly even come out your back pedal. So what that does is it make it a super tight window because the receiver is squeezing that cushion and you not even backing up. Look at my illustration. So they say, hut, you ain't even stop. Because they know you getting ready to stop.
You jumped the route.
So, and Dak got a throw in that.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all a question. How does your quarterback play when the defense know what y'all doing?
How you throw him open, man? That's what I want to know.
How?
How? Dak can't read. He can't throw him open. I'm like, dog.
They know what you doing.
I'm in the stands right here, sitting on that daggone curl.
Bro.
I'm like, boy, that ball come my way, baby. I'm jumping.
Sitting on it.
I'm getting me a pick tonight, baby. And it is coming
And
my
ain't
way.
that sad? No,
And they
ain't this
refused to
sad?
run. Look, them DBs wasn't coming down to hit. Them DBs was sitting like, oh, crap, they running. That's why they'll get all them yards.
Yeah. OC. Because I really still got that question, but go ahead, OC. Because I'm going to ask that question again because I want to answer from everybody.
No, this gonna be quick, man, and then I'm gonna jump out and come right back. But look,
with the hoodie,
this is the sin. This is the sin of being cute and not being functional. You see, we live in an Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat generation where you got a lot of young ladies out here getting by on these looks. They cute, they put on makeup, they put on this, and they trying to be cute. But when you get down and you talk to them, a lot of these guys, if you single, you know. See, these girls don't hardly know how to think. They can't add, they can't cook, they can't hold a good conversation. You see, they look real good, but they're not functional. And that's the problem with this offense. Kellen Moore wants to be cute, but you got to be functional. And you got to be more than good looking. You got to be able to sit down and execute and help get some things done in this house and in this relationship. And that's what's going on with this offense. Is trying to make himself look good by scheme and being pretty instead of being functional. Let's get down to brass tack, blocking, tackling, running the football, play action pass, and try to win a football game. Not some, just a football game. Just win one. That's what you need to do right now. And that's all you need to be thinking about, trying to win one game.
Trickery plays.
But I really want to ask a real question. I want to answer from everybody.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with you, Big. How does Dak quarterback when the defense fully knows your tendency?
I mean, it's a lot of pressure on him. I mean, honestly, I still feel like Dak still kind of, still needs to get better with his throwing. I think that hurts him. And, I just want to say this one thing. Bobby Belt brought up, and I think we had been talking about this. When they lost John Kitna, when Dak lost John Kitna and went to Bill Nuschmeyer and Kellen Moore as his guys again, as him talking to him, I think it hurt him. It set him back because John Kitna was a real guy in his ear, a real guy that could be tough on him, tell him to really rip it, play loose. And I feel like he lost that. And then you compound it with, like you guys said, with this offense being able just to, you saw the cornerbacks. We saw it, boss. When you watched all 22, the cornerbacks literally took like 2 steps back and waited.
Yep.
They literally took 2 steps back and sat right there and watched to see what they were going to do.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So if you're a quarterback, and let's say we throw a blitz at you, right? And we're sitting on these routes, that's a recipe for a disaster. Okay? That's just a bad thing. But, I'm going to let y'all talk about this because I'm going to sit back. But I just want to say this one thing, man. We can talk about this. I really love for Boss to play the dog right now. Can I get my dog right now? Because that's how I feel. That's how I feel in my head. You know what I'm saying? Give me the dog right now. Yeah, can I get the dog right now? Because this is how I feel. Give me my dog right now. Thank you. I appreciate you. But this is what I feel, though, boss, and Law, and OC.
Yes, sir.
We can talk about all this stuff, right? OC was right in everything he said. Boss, you right in everything he said. Law, you right in everything. but it's not going to change unless Dallas gets blown out and drastically lose games. Because as long as Dallas is competitive and they play a little bit good with Cooper Rush, there ain't going to be no change to Kellen Moore. Matter of fact, if Dallas shows any kind of life, listen to this. If Dallas shows any kind of life with Cooper Rush, they're going to go back and say, see, we told you Kellen's good. He taking Cooper Rush and we're still afloat. They're going to spin that BS to us again and try to make it like everything is okay. The only way there's going to be change with Kellen Moore getting out of here, if you're moving on from Mike McCarthy, it's going to have to be like when Wade Phillips got fired and Dallas lost like 6 or 7 in a row. If it don't happen like that, we just talking about nothing.
Yes, indeed.
I want to give you another component to this, because this right here, that you ask and you shall receive, this is the red hoodie. This is a warning. This is a warning. Don't go out here, mess around, and go 0-3 and 0-4. Okay? I'm just telling you right now, do not mess around and go out here and lose your first 3 or 4 games, because it is going to be chaotic. It is going to be tyranny. It is going to be complete pandemonium if the Cowboys do not figure out how to get this football into the end zone. And I don't care what nobody say. You can say fire Mike McCarthy first, Kellen Moore's in trouble. I'm going to tell you the OC should be in trouble, right? The offensive coordinator of this team should be in trouble because, listen, Mike McCarthy has been, as we all know, effectively neutered so that he has to live with Kellen.
Yeah.
Okay? So, listen, Kellen, this is a warning. Do not go out here and look like we look this first week, these next couple weeks, because if you do, I don't care what nobody say, it's going to be some problems.
Let me hit it again. Let me get it right.
The OC.
It's no emotions, no friends, no loyalty.
Straight business.
You
straight business.
Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
And I told you this. I'm gonna tell you this again. You wrong because they not touching Kellen Moore. They are not, bro. If we go 0-4, they are firing Mike McCarthy.
And it's a travesty.
And it's already been
Quinn's
leaked
gonna
out.
be the coach. Dan Quinn's gonna be the coach.
Right. Dan Quinn gonna be the coach. Now check this out.
It's only gonna be between Quinn and Peyton,
Kellen.
boss, and you know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
And Kellen. But
And
can I just say one
Kellen.
thing? Let me just say one last thing, please. Just one quick thing. Just makes me upset in my head because see, they playing this little game where you want to keep Kellen around, right? Just to continue to prove you right. That's the stubbornness.
Yep.
You want to continue to prove
You
yourself
right.
And
Yep.
that's why you will keep latching onto him. And think about it, y'all. We went through 10 years with Garrett because they didn't want to let him go because they wanted to prove everybody right, that they were right on this call. And like I said, Jason Garrett would never coach in the NFL again. He had that little rinky-dink time in New York because that was the feel sorry. They fired him. He's in the booth. He's not coaching in the NFL anymore because he wasn't ready. You think any NFL team is listening to Kellen Moore? The only reason why those players listen to Kellen Moore is because they're forced to, because he's in Dallas organization. Because if he was anywhere else, they would be clowning him. If it was anywhere else, they'd be talking about him. And that's why he can't be no head coach in the NFL. And that's why all the jobs got turned out, because he's not an alpha. Ain't nobody listen no damn Kellen Moore in this NFL at all. Nobody. They're not doing it. And they're not doing it in Dallas either. They're forced to do it because the top people keep them.
I love man.
Hey,
I
Boss.
love Big
Boss,
Game James, man. I love him, man. That
Hey,
is
Law,
my
I saw
favorite.
somebody on your channel say I was straight garbage. I just said the OC is straight garbage.
Well,
hey, man, tweet me and tell me why I'm straight garbage, man. Love you, man. Thanks for watching the channel, though. Appreciate you. Go ahead.
All right, hey, check this out. Because I want to answer this question. You cannot quarterback. You cannot quarterback when the defense have figured you out. I want to let y'all know that it's too much disrespect to defenses. And I mean that.
True that.
It's too much disrespect. Once we figure you out, we will shut you down. I want you to know that. I played on the defensive side my whole life. And I'm going to tell you like this. Oh, I played offense too. But defense was my specialty. And I'm going to tell you, we took pride in going against the Kellen Moore types. We took pride in, oh yeah, they this #1 offense. I can't wait. And them coordinators took pride in breaking you down like a cheat code. And they were coming there and they would be giddy, Law. They would be giddy big in the OC about how they know your formula. And they would tell you all your trends, and we would get giddy. Like, oh, when they get in that formation, they getting ready to run a screen. I'm going to beeline him right in his ear hole. And see, let me show you, because talk is cheap. Maybe, we might be just some garage YouTubers. So if you don't believe us, let's just read the words of Romo. So this happened. Let's look at the date on this. 2018. Something similar with Dez Bryant. They was moving on from him, going to receiver by committee.
That boy got receipts.
Oh, I got receipts, and we finna go through it, big dog. So let's go through this receipt. So they asked the question: no Dez Bryant replacement, no Amari Cooper replacement. Can we play it like that? Can we play it like that? Let's play it like that. Let's play it like that. Dak Prescott, Tony Romo explained hidden value in new Cowboys attack. This came from Joel Epstein. So this is what Dak said. Not sure who Dak Prescott would throw to. That's a good thing, right? So check this out. This is what Dak said. I think it's winning by committee. Yep. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott said Thursday from the NFL Draft Experience, we have a great running game, as you know, a great running game. So to be able to spread the ball around, we've got a lot of weapons still. The way we attack, who knows what's coming, right? Now, let's listen to Tony Romo. And he said this, initially,
in the beginning, your first year.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Initially, there will be some success because it would be harder for them to determine who to double team and what they're going to do defensively. All right. But then he keeps going. He said, it's going to be a little more random, but
booty.
What does but mean?
When
y'all see but,
it means hold up.
It take away what he said originally.
Wait a minute.
Right. So let's
hold
here
up.
comes the real meat.
That's the meat.
Because it's the conjunction of contradiction. It is the conjunction of contradiction.
Man, don't do that, OC. Don't give it to us like that. One more time, OC. Give it to us, OC. One more.
But is the conjunction. It is the conjunction of contradiction. It means that you're about to contradict and go opposite on everything you just said.
Okay, so let's go. He said, but what happens is when the tape gets out there throughout the season, it gets a little more difficult offensively because you have tendencies.
Tendencies.
So when you see that, hold on, Law, real quick.
Go ahead.
Last year we learned that they really wasn't going to commit to the run game, and the runs that they did, they was going to try to get outside and not run into the interior. But most of the running game was quick game. A lot of curls, a lot of hitches, a lot of slants and stuff. So we kind of knew that going in, so we was able to attack it.
Tendencies.
Last year we learned that
tendencies.
And I was going to point out this right here. In 2001, there was an MVP by the name of Gannon. You remember him?
Yep.
Gannon, he played for the Raiders. Yep. And I'm telling you, Tim Brown, Jerry Rice, they were no one to sneeze at in that year. But the defense that they played against, the Buccaneers, they knew what they were trying to do. They knew what they was going to do. Why? Because that coach over there recently was in Raiders land, and they put the whooping on them in that Super Bowl. So it don't matter who the quarterback is or what type of skill set or talent you have. When somebody understand what you're trying to do on the offensive side of the coin and the defense it's over with. It's over. Now
that offense getting ready to get shut down.
It's finna get shut down. Now, to a degree, that is true all the way through and through. The 90s Cowboys had a different mindset, so that's why they were able to run toss left, toss right, and run the consistency of the same plays because they had a formula going with, I'm going to get the ball come hell or high water to my playmaker, to my star and Emmett. They had a well-balanced team. So that's what explains why the Cowboys, hear me out, played the NFC East opponents so well, because they have these things that they know their tendencies. And on top of that, when you have common opponents, that's why you see that the Kellen Moore's offensive style and his system work, because it's against common opponents. But when it's against those inferior, well, more superior, that's what I meant to say, opponents, we look like what we look.
Right.
That's all I have to say on that.
So what about Mike McCarthy in this, man?
He's a sitting duck.
Mike McCarthy.
Go ahead. The only reason why I say that, the only reason why I say that to OC is because when Brian Brothers leaked that out, that was damning upon Mike McCarthy. He don't know the language.
Let's talk about this, man.
Oh my gosh, let's
talk about this, bro. See, I like how you queued that up, Law. That was so well done. Law, you are a pro. This is from Mike McCarthy, so we go turn the page. So let's put all of this together. With the revelation of what they was talking about with the predictability. Let's add this to the equation. Let's measure this Kool-Aid. The more I talk to people around there, Mike doesn't know the offense. He doesn't want to call the offense. He doesn't know the offense, the terminology and stuff. Forever he has certain terminology with the Packers, just not hearing it very positive. You talk to people within the organization, and that's why Mike doesn't want to call the plays. So this man has absolute. Go ahead, OC, because I got something on that for real. Me too.
So I hope that this didn't go over people's head. What you just described is a man who actually has no control or say in offense. That's what you just described. He doesn't know the terminology, and saying that he has no say in the terminology. If he had say, he would be able to insert some of his old winning terminology. It is completely the nomenclature or the language that Kellen Moore has inserted for every player and how he's going to call plays and run the offense. So basically, Mike McCarthy don't want to learn none of that stuff. He has no control of how it goes anyway. So he's like standoff. So he's the guy that is in charge but has no control, which makes you a sitting duck.
I got to get in on this, dog.
I got down.
Okay, I got you. Because listen, I'm going to tell y'all straight up.
You are fake news. Wrong. It's all fake news. It's phony stuff.
I don't believe
it. It didn't happen.
I don't believe it. I do not believe it, dog. No. See, because I played. And I know how this game go. So I want to show y'all something, all right? Look at Tom Brady's wrist. What's that on his wrist? Because, Tom Brady don't know the offense. Tom Brady don't know the offense. What is that on his wrist? Look at his wrist.
Look at the flick of the wrist. Oh.
Look at the wrist. What's that on his wrist? What do we keep seeing?
The play sheet.
What is that on his wrist? A play sheet on his wrist.
Yeah.
See, because I played the game, OC, and you played the game too. You know how the game go. They have those Waffle House sheets they will put on your body to where they will be able to break it down simpler than Madden. I ain't hearing that BS. That's fake. I ain't saying Broad is fake. I'm saying his source is show fake. You telling me a dude that been playing and running plays and a play caller his whole life don't know the offense? So you mean to tell me he's sitting there like a just mute?
Boss, you're supposed to put that battle stuff up there. It's going to be the battle between you and the OC on that because he's ready to jump.
I mean, I don't know if he going to jump in, but I'm just saying this. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Go ahead.
And I'm going to say this, Boss Cowboy, And I'm not saying you're right or wrong, but I'm saying this. What evidence do we have in the course of games that his fingerprint is on this offense at all?
Bingo!
Well,
that's the question.
Bingo!
That's the question.
That's a different argument, though, big dog. That's a different argument.
I'm saying that. Look, okay, if whether it's a lie or not, right? Mm-hmm. What is the point, right? What is the gist of the whole argument? The gist is that he has a lack of involvement, control, and it's none of his imprint on his offense whatsoever, which is to the detriment of the Cowboys.
But see, we already knew that part. That part we already knew. But I'm talking about this. He don't know the offense.
It got to be at this point because
Can I jump in here right quick? Let me jump in here right quick, Law. But here's the thing. By the time he was leaving Green Bay, boss, you remember, Aaron Rodgers, I ain't saying Aaron Rodgers all that, whatever, but he was very critical of him, saying he called him dumb. Called him, say he didn't know what he was doing. And there were screamers of that within the organization, within Green Bay, and that it was stale, it was easy to figure out, and we got to move on from it because you could figure it out. So I'm not saying he don't know the plays because you've been there, but just like what OC says, he's so far away from it, like he won't touch it at all. People keep on saying, dog, you're an offensive mind. You an offensive mind at Green Bay. You was San Francisco, New Orleans. You help get people's career. Jump in here and take over this. He like, nah, I don't want to touch none of it. He got it. He doing it. He got it all. I ain't touching it. To me, in my opinion, that frustrates me from a fan or perspective because you the head coach, right? And everything should go through you, regardless if you got the offensive coordinator. It should all crash and burn with you. And you letting it crash and burn with the offensive coordinator. So that's why, how do we feel like that offense would ever have cohesion when those two guys don't have cohesion?
See, let me talk about that real quick. So this is the problem, bro, in my opinion. So he already told the world that's how he run his team. And he already got people that can step in and run these plays. And even the rumors that was coming from Aaron Rodgers now, could we see it on the Dallas side, big, when we was going against Mike McCarthy? Could we see it? We couldn't see it. Because guess what? He was owning Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
He did.
He was owning Dallas, and we never looked at.
Why they brought him.
We never went against Green Bay like, "Ooh, that was a bad play," did we?
You right.
How many times did we end up like, "Damn, they called a good game on that"? You know what I mean?
Killed us.
So from what did we see? I heard the rumors of Green Bay, but what did we see going against them boys? We saw good play calling with Mike McCarthy with the Waffle House sheet. He would be just like this, eating us up.
Can you also say this, though, boss? Can you also say this?
Yeah.
Let me just jump in there and say this. Don't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
But Dallas is easier, too, though. We easy to figure out on defense. We had Ron Marinelli. Didn't we talk about how he had a basic-ass defense?
No, that's true. But I'm just asking a real question.
Aaron Rodgers said it was easy to go against him.
I ain't gonna fight you on true, dog. You making sense on that point. All I'm asking is, when we went against him, did we end up like, boy, that was dumb? Or was we like, boy, that boy, he was killing us with that Waffle House sheet? What was we saying? Right? And what was they doing? They was winning with him. Now, did they only got one Super Bowl with him, but they was always fighting. Remember, they beat Romo with a backup quarterback?
Matt Flynn. But these are all valid points. But here's the thing. When you are a coach, you have what we call coaching tree, meaning a philosophy that you can look at and say, that fingerprint belongs to him. That philosophy belongs to him. There's no way in hell we looking at this particular offense and we're saying that, hey, that's shades of Mike McCarthy, outside of going for it on fourth down or what have you, which the previous coaching staff didn't really do. That's the only thing that Mike McCarthy do differently than what we've seen before. And that's what I was saying, that yes, we still collectively have the same offense since 2007, which was installed by Jason Garrett, which was tweaked a little bit by Scott Linehan, and then also with what we see out of Kellen Moore is that more pre-snap reads before the snap or what have you, but it's literally the same offense. I don't see no identity from Mike McCarthy. I don't see no pattern that Mike McCarthy bring to the table. But for dog sure, we do see some evidence that Dan Quinn is in the building, because we can tangibly see the difference between Dan Quinn and the previous defensive coordinator out here and the previous defensive coordinator before that. So that, my friend, is why I say, yes, this may be a whole 1,000% true. And Mike McCarthy is a sitting duck right now, because he can't make no decisions because he don't know the plays. He can't call out what the team need to do.
I don't believe it, dog. Well, let me ask y'all one more question. I'm gonna ask everybody real quick. I'm sorry, OC, just real quick. When y'all hear Mike McCarthy speak, do y'all hear dummy? What do you hear when you hear him at the press conferences?
Lot of
or do
breathing.
you stop?
I'm messing with you, man.
I don't hear dummy.
Loud, you cold.
Mike McCarthy, though.
No, but I'm asking a real question. No, for real. Cause see, I got some. Listen, I don't fully trust Brian Broaddus. I don't. And I'm not saying he a bad guy, but I also heard his analysis on Steel. His analysis on Steel be downright horrible. Horrible. Yeah. He be over there acting like La'el Collins was a dog and Steele was a chump.
You know he's a little biased.
He be saying
La'el went to LSU, man.
That's my point. That's my point. That's my whole point. Is we also need to consider the source. Listen, like Brian Broaddus, I like his integrity, but sometimes I be like, damn, man, you way off. Like, you not even kinda off. You way off. Like, his opinion.
You ain't God. You ain't God.
Your opinion on
ain't God.
I be like, huh?
You ain't God.
LSU,
and then
God.
This is what he said at the Chargers game. We all watched the film. We all watched the film. This is what he said at the Chargers game.
Don't do it like
of course
that.
we did the homework. We all did the homework together. So check this out, Law. This is what Brian Broaddus said. Brian Broaddus said, what? And then this is what Brian Broaddus said. He said Steele was getting help the Chargers game. Was that true?
No. Oh, no.
Zach Martin was helping Steele. That's why what? It's like, hold on, bro. We broke down every pass play, every run play. We didn't see what you said. So when you come out there and say my sources, and these are unnamed sources, I don't know who your source is. Is it the trash man? Is it the mailman? Who are these guys? Like, who is this that's saying that a head coach that I don't say, when I listen to him, I don't hear dumb?
Gang
I'm sorry, y'all.
Man.
I don't.
Gang of seven, man. Gang of seven.
Yeah. But listen, Boss Cowboy, this right here is a great comment, and it's also a $5 super chat. So shout out to Q Dog for the $5 super chat.
Oh, hold on, don't go with the super chat yet, OC, because I'm gonna catch him all up.
Let me get this one. Let me get this one.
Okay, cool.
This one is good. All right. Cool. He said, look, he said this, and this is really, really important. I think it summarizes everything. It says Mike's offense that he called at Green Bay, I paraphrase that part, kicked our butt twice in 14 and 16. So if that's a dumb offense, then I want that offense. Kellen's offense cannot beat a cover 2 defense, is what Q-Dog said. So, hey, man.
Hey, let's catch up these super chats. Since you started the super chats, let's get them all caught up real quick.
And I got 2 over here, man, that I got to read.
It's going to be 1,000. It's going to be 1,000.
Let's get them all in. So, Q-Dog also said that is a bold-faced lie. Mike knows the offense. All of us has played ball. Exactly. If you play ball, you know that's BS, dog. Because they go put them cheat sheets on your wrist. The OC, how many times did they used to call it a defense, and the first thing we do is look at our wrists to know what the play is? Yeah, man, get out of here, man.
He said the language and terminology, man. Hey,
this is how you break down this is how they break down the terminology, dog. No, I can't let him get away with this, dog. Listen, this is how you break down the terminology. Let's say if it's wide 5, banana 88, play 1. So this is what you say, OC, play 1. And then he looks at his wrist and he say, wide 5, banana 88. Come on, man. Get out of here, dog. But I ain't hearing that stuff. Oh, he don't know the plays. He don't know the terminology. He honestly don't got to.
So you really think that Mike McCarthy is Frank from Snowfall? He go all the way to the source.
Man, it's an insult to him, dog. It's an insult to him. He became a head coach by doing this job. Oh, he don't know how to do this job. He don't know the offense. Man, get out of here, dog.
Well, I'll say it right now. If a beat reporter, the first beat reporter that asks Mike McCarthy, is this storyline true? I'm willing to donate $50 to their Cash App or to their funds. I want the pressure to turn up. Cause then Brian, that will crush Brian Broaddus.
I like what you said.
I'm saying it right now, so y'all tweet out to any beat reporter. They can get a free $50 from Law Nation Sports.
Oh, he's serious.
Right now.
$50 holla.
He's serious too.
I'm serious.
Law would do it. Law would do it. That's my dog. And I like what you just said too. That do need a follow up, but it actually don't. And if I tell you what, if I was Mike McCarthy, they came to me with that, I'm going off. I'm gonna be like, listen, man. You mean to tell me I'm a 2-time head coach with 2 legendary organizations and don't know my offense?
Man, we don't want.
But Boss Cowboy, I think there's a greater point that we're not getting here. There's a greater point, Boss Cowboy. And Coach Moore, thanks for the super chat. Follow super chat. He said this. He said he don't see dumb, he sees beta when talking about Mike McCarthy. So I don't know that I necessarily see beta. I see a man that's conceited. I see a man that's conceited to earn his payment and to coach as long as they go let this thing ride out. Because come whatever the scenario is, he getting his contract money. He's an older gentleman. He can have the opportunity to retire. He can have the opportunity to go coach one more time for somebody else if he chooses to. I don't see a beta. I see a dude that's conceited. He's conceded the presidency. He's conceded that, hey.
That was real. Let me catch up to all these super chats fast, bro. I want to get to them. So, Coach said Kidner got run off by Kellen, boss. Kidner pushed back. Ooh. And then Eric said with a $5 super chat, he said, I like Dalton, but
McCarthy one of them gone.
But he gives absolutely nothing after catch. That tough as a second option, just saying. And then Coach Marv said, boss, didn't I tell you this last year with a super chat? Yeah, you did. You did. All of this. Every bit of this. Shake my head, been saying this for years. Kellen Moore's a fraud. We all the way caught up over here. What's your super chats over there, Law?
McFab, he donated $9.99. He says CeeDee Lamb has Dez Bryant's aspirations with Antonio Bryant ceiling. Joking. Love what you guys do.
What? Antonio Bryant was a dog. Don't be dissing Antonio Bryant like that. Antonio Bryant was nice.
The Buccaneers, Antonio Bryant, right when he was there, or the Cowboys when he threw the jersey in the face?
You gonna try to? So you gonna sit there? Okay, so you I just said a head case. I ain't talk about talent.
Oh, okay.
He was nice talent.
Yeah. He was nice though. What number did he wear?
88.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? All right, Curtis with the $9.99. He said, my question is, if Kellen Moore does go, who is actually out there will be willing to be Jerry Jones puppet like Kellen Moore?
See,
a lot of people.
Yeah, money.
See, I Dan Quinn too. Add Dan Quinn to the list.
You think a lot of people?
What? Dan Quinn already a puppet.
What?
Let me tell you.
No, boss.
I'm finna break this down. I'm finna break this down. Everybody better listen. Listen. Let me say it first. Let me say it first. Boss. Okay, because let me
behind you.
Okay, you got me. You got my back down. Listen.
I'm gonna Allen by myself.
Oh, you gonna be able to? Oh, you finna get burnt up, bro. You don't want this today. You finna get burned alive, bro. So listen. Let me ask you a question. I just want to ask you a question, Law, since you want this. So, since you want this fight, let me ask you a question.
God, no.
Is Fowler a Dan Quinn guy?
Dante Fowler? Yeah, I believe so. From Atlanta. Yeah, he went to Atlanta to chase after Dan Quinn. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, did he ball out in preseason?
No, he had a few flags, but he showed some splashes. Yeah, some splashes. Yeah.
Is his career much better than Armstrong?
Yeah, by a mile.
Okay.
Yep.
Wait. Case closed. You done checkmated yourself on that one.
Wait a minute. Hold on, man.
Because Armstrong started.
Move the strike. Lead the witness.
Started. I didn't lead you. I just asked you some questions. I asked you some questions. So my point is, if Dan Quinn is this alpha who would flip over the tables and hell no.
Well, let me say this.
Just like Mike Moore.
It's my turn to defend myself. Y'all gonna let me defend myself?
Let's go. Let's go, playmaker.
And I'm coming after you, Law.
Come on. Did DeMonte KZ play for the Atlanta Falcons last year?
Yeah.
Did Dan Quinn reach out to the organization to bring DeMonte KZ in?
Yeah.
Did he start over Malik Hooker?
Of course.
Malik wasn't ready.
Was Malik? Oh, okay. Well, I can't. All right. Fair
you can't. Taysom, you tried. You tried.
What about Keanu Neal? And they'll call him Kiki. Was he from the Atlanta Falcons?
Yep, you tried.
He came over here.
He's gone now.
Right. Both of those boys are gone now. So is KZ. But
so is Fowler, too.
Did he want Anthony Barr? Did he want Anthony Barr?
Big.
Did he get?
Yeah, he wanted Anthony Barr.
And did we drafted defensive guys that fit? Didn't Dan Quinn personally went all the way down there to go see Sam Williams himself? And he said, "Hey, that's the guy I want." So did he draft? Hold on, let me finish this point, because baby, I got you now. Hey, did he draft Dan? Did Dan Quinn draft Sam Williams, who was listed as a 3rd-round draft grade in the second?
Put it down, bro.
Come on,
man.
So hold on. Can I jump?
Dan Quinn got what he wanted. I don't think Mike McCarthy got his.
Can I kill him right here? I'm about to kill you right here, Law. I'm about to kill you right here.
Don't kill me.
You saying you? Oh no, not you, boss. I'm about to kill Law right here. He just sit there and said, "Oh, he an alpha because he getting all these players." Who was there before him, Rob Marinelli, that we was yelling at because he kept on taking over the draft for Taco Charlton and drafting all these other players?
Yeah, true.
So he was the man too?
Right.
Was he the alpha too?
Right.
Nope.
Hell
he
yeah.
was neuter too. And he had all that talk in the defense. Hold up. He had all that talk in the defensive room. He was in the war room. He had all that. Hey, listen to Marinelli. You know why? Because they wanted that defense so bad, because everybody kept on saying, we need to get defense. We need to get defense. So they said, go ahead, Marinelli. You been here. You done that. We're going to let you do it. But they ain't saying you going to be able to control it. We just going to say, we think we trust your mind a little bit and we allow you to do it. We allow you to do it. You ain't ever going to do it here. We allow you to do it. You will never do it here. So he ain't no alpha, and that's the way it is, and that's that.
Beta. He's a beta, just like Mike McCarthy.
Man, come on.
See, y'all waiting on the Messiah. See, that's what's happening with our fan base. We waiting on the coach Messiah to come in there. We waiting on Jesus Christ of the Dallas Cowboy coaching. That's what we waiting on. We waiting on a.
That's the only thing gonna help us is Jesus Christ.
Bro, listen. It's no savior.
Win.
There's no savior for the Joneses, dog.
I know it's. That's what I said.
Let me explain something succinctly, just so that we can kill this conversation.
There
will be no alphas. Listen to me. Hear me carefully.
All the way.
There will be no alphas that are paid by the Joneses.
Thank you.
Do you understand?
I understand.
There will be no alphas, because the true definition of alpha is control and ownership. So unless you own the team and you get part ownership in the team, like John Root had before he messed up with the Raiders, now he was an alpha.
Yeah.
Because he owned a part of that team.
Right.
He owned shares in the team.
Right.
Unless it's a situation like that, and I don't care who you are, you're going to be a higher paid beta. They hire Sean Payton, he's going to be a highly paid, probably a $50 million beta. He's going to be paid very well.
No emotion, no friends, no loyalty.
Straight business.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
Straight business. Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
Why you even try, Law? You shouldn't even try.
Dan Quinn is the beta alpha now, baby.
Man,
he's the beta alpha there.
You can call him a strong alpha.
You are fake news. Wrong.
Strong beta.
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff.
He could be the strongest among
It didn't happen.
Look, Law, he could be the strongest amongst the weak, Law. That's fine. He's the strongest amongst the weak. That's fine, but he's still weak. It doesn't matter.
Is he the best coach we have on the staff right now? Is he the best coach we have on the staff right
now? He probably is. He probably is, Law. He's probably the best coach on the staff.
I got 3 butter knives on me, y'all. I got 3 butter knives on me in the black eye, man. Y'all slice me up over here.
No, you don't really think the Joneses are going to give Dan Quinn power?
No.
Think about that, Law. Think about what you're saying right now. They are not doing that with nobody. And just what OC said, and me and Boss had already talked about this, is the only way, if Dallas crashes and burns, right, the next selling point is the Sean Payton thing. Okay, right. That's the way they're gonna bring people back. Yep. But just like OC said, they're gonna do him the same way. They're gonna make it look. They're gonna make it look real good to all of us. Sound real good in the media, but behind closed doors, it's gonna be the same damn thing.
So let me ask you a question, Law. This is where I gotta checkmate you, and I do love you. You my brother, man. You really like a brother to me, bro.
Y'all shaking me left and right, man.
I'm growing my beard out and everything. I'm trying to be like you now, bro. So listen, bro. Let me ask you a question. I'm asking you a real straight up question. I want you to answer this too. So if Sean Payton come here and he's really an alpha, is he gonna take over personnel like he did in New Orleans? Answer the question.
No. That is given to Willie McClay and his buddy Stephen Jones. All right, so here's the reason why. Here's my stance on the reason why. Come on, man. Come on.
I gotta clap me up. That was a checkmate, and that was an easy one. Go ahead,
that was an easy one, man. Y'all beat me up like a pinata over here, man. But I ain't gonna bust over here, man. Because I'm gonna tell y'all right quick. Out of everything that we've seen in this team in the last 10 years, the thing that changed the most, collectively speaking, been on the defensive side in these last year and a half. And I'm quite sure this is my last thread. I seen somebody say, man, Law be over here pumping up Cowboy Nation, and they got beat up. He be playing gladiator music and everything, and they got their butt whooped. But I'm going to tell you something. This is a long season, and I have promising hopes for this defense. That's my last thing. And I know my guy Ash Motors, he checked me too this morning. He said, Law, hope is not a strategy, dog.
I agree.
Hope is not a strategy, man.
I said, that was a smooth.
He took me. He took me for them.
Real stuff.
I had to stop staring the Kool-Aid a little bit.
And see, that was the smoothest.
Yeah, stop stirring it.
Yeah, I gotta keep staring it, man.
You see how he pivoted out? Right. He pivoted out of that debate. Ooh, he got on out of there.
He was good. Hey, but it's the real. It's the real. Hey, you know what they were saying? Y'all were saying, you said boss tendencies, right? Tendencies.
Yeah.
When I worked out this last job, you know what they used to say at our job? Patterns and trends. Mm-hmm. When you got wrote up or you got in trouble, you were late. They had this thing called patterns and trends. So basically they would watch you and they would see your pattern and trend on a daily basis, how you ate when you took your lunch, to see if you're always going to be late. And that's how they can base how they're going to deal with you. And they called it patterns and trends. And when we see Kellen Moore, it's patterns and trends. He does it every time. It's a pattern, it's a trend. And it's just maddening to me how, once again, Stephen Jones has not said one word. Find the tape, please, somebody, where he said, Kellen Moore gotta get better. I want to hear that tape. I ain't heard none of that tape. Nope. I heard tape about everybody else.
That ain't out
there. But I ain't heard
right.
the tape from Stephen Jones saying Kellen Moore gotta get better. And guess what? I also heard when Jerry wanted, I heard from a person who was real close to the situation, when Dallas got blown out to the Rams, right? When Dallas got blown out to the Rams, Jerry was I'm done with Jason Garrett. I'm tired of losing this. I'm done with him. Stephen Jones jumped over there like, come on, man. Well, let's just see this through. Let's see this. Let's see one more year. Let's see it through. And here's the thing. If he had maybe a couple more years on his contract after 2019, we don't even know if he'd have been gone.
Right.
We got lucky. His contract ran out. Thank you, Jesus.
Here's the conundrum. Here's the ultimate conundrum with the Cowboys, and this has always been the case. And unfortunately, unless something just traumatic happens, it's going to be the case. We got great business guys and great marketers trying to be football guys, and these guys are not football guys. They're not football guys, and they won't relinquish enough control so that a football guy could get the organization in order. And that's the issue here. They're great business guys, they're great marketers, but they want to be football guys so bad. You're trying to force yourself to be something you are not. They're not good football guys. And they want to be football guys so bad, so they fight to maintain control to their own demise, man. And that's the main issue here, man. And unless that gets addressed, you're going to have a cyclical effect. Or you're going to have them have to hit on draft picks, like Will McClay, hit on draft picks, and they win with talent that they've acquired in spite of.
Yeah, that's dope.
Did we say that though, boss?
Yep.
What OC just said, he's 100% correct. But didn't we say that, boss? How the stars have to play like superstars?
Yeah.
They're gonna have to play out of their mind.
Out of their minds.
They're gonna have to win despite the organization and the coaching.
Yep.
But that's not happening, and that's why Dallas is not gonna win. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hey, before you go into that point, I just need to ask y'all three real quick because I got a guy to keep asking. I think he's like a Kellen Moore apologist.
Okay. How you doing, sir?
He said that basically, what are y'all thoughts when Dak Prescott called kill? He's been out of the plays that Kellen Moore is calling, basically. So is this predicated upon Dak Prescott that his offense is looking like that? What if he is calling the right play or the right run and Dak is audible and out of it? What's y'all thoughts on that?
That's not even a apologist to me. To me, somebody asking a good question. So to me, based on how this system works, Dak does, and he's supposed to read the defense. Guess who also supposed to read the defense? The receivers, the tight ends. This is an offense that's supposed to adjust to what they see on defense. So guess what? Everybody out there reading. That's the flow of the offense. That's how it works. So this ain't a system to where it's built on matchups. It's built on we go take what the defense gives us. So yeah, but this whole vision of a system is the baby of Kellen Moore. That's why you have so many hook routes. That's why you have so many slant routes. That's why it's always about going to a spot, because that's the vision of his offense, is that they're trying to beat you with timing. So we can't take this off of Kellen Moore just because Dak is the quarterback. No, it's his system. And in his system,
good answer too.
Yeah, it's his overall system. So what you got to do is you got to break the whole offense down to match up football. This is system football. That's why he can't stay on track. So when other teams, they get on a track to where they can say, we go run the ball 30 times. And guess what? They'll stay with it. Yep. But when you trying to adapt your offense to the defense, and the defense knowing you do that, they go bait you into getting off your track.
And let me say this too, though. And some offensive coordinators, they will have 2 or 3 plays that they will call in for the quarterback, and then he would kill one. On top of that, when Tom Brady first went over to Tampa Bay Buccaneers, there were a handful of plays that he was accustomed to that was West Coast oriented, right, that he wanted to make sure that they can install to make him comfortable. So he also installed some plays on the offensive side that married up with their philosophy and scheme. Although some of those language didn't match up, but they got into the room together and got those things together. So it is a collective unit, but what you need more so than anything is a person to develop a scheme that match up with your system to help.
And let me ask you a question. Who was Devin White talking about when he was talking about the tendencies that he was seeing on the offense? Was he talking about the tendencies he was seeing out of Dak, or was he talking about the tendencies he was seeing out of Kellen Moore's offense? I wanna just listen to this one more time.
Onion right there. Go ahead.
Let's listen.
Last year we learned that they really wasn't going to commit to the run game.
So is that Dak?
And the runs that they did, they was going to try to get outside and not run into the interior.
That's Dak.
Nope.
But most of the running game was quick game. A lot of curls, a lot of hitches, a lot of slants.
That's Dak.
Nope.
And stuff. So we kind of knew that going in, so we was able to attack it.
Listen, I'm gonna take this to another level, y'all. Can I take this to a whole nother level?
I don't know if they ready for that, man.
I got something else, bro. Let me cue this up real quick. Go ahead and expound on that for me, OC, just real quick.
Yeah, man. I mean, here's the whole deal, man. When you talk about, and we've talked about this before, but for the new viewers on all the channels, listen, pay attention to what Boss Cowboy said and what the Devin White just said. Curls and hooks and slants and all that stuff. Listen, you got to set up plays. And that's the issue, is that you cannot decide just to run a play because this is the play that I want to run. You have to look at the defense and you have to exploit matchups. And I think that Kellen's is okay. He's adequate in terms of coming up with concepts and plays. Where I think he needs to improve is understanding how to take advantage of matchups. That's the whole key word, right? Because when you watch advanced offenses and great offensive coordinators, they always exploit matchups, right? Always. Mm-hmm. And if you watch good defensive coordinators, and think about Bill Belichick, because most people are familiar with him on their Super Bowl runs when they had Tom Brady. What did Bill Belichick do? Just as an example, he would always take away the best thing that you did.
Right.
He would say, okay, great.
Make you play left.
You running the ball? Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, you run the ball well. Great. Okay, we're going to take away the run, and we're going to see if your quarterback can beat us. Okay, you throw the ball well. Great. We're going to blitz your quarterback and pressure him. We're going to see if you can beat us with short passes and line up and run the football. So it's all about matchups, and that's the whole maturation process that Kellen has to have. And I'm almost done. I'll say this. Where we really fail offensively, if I want to get more granular about this, is that with the receiving core that we have, and even last year, like Amari Cooper made inferior routes work because he was a great route runner. So you could call a bad route that wasn't ideal in terms of combination, and he had so much wiggle and so much different techniques in terms of releases and how he could get into his route and break a defensive back down that he still could make the route work. Okay? That's what you have with Amari Cooper. You don't have that this year. So with the hooks, with the curls, what makes a hook and a slant and a hitch effective is they scared they gonna get beat deep. That's what gets that open. Yeah. If there's no threat, then nothing get behind them, they go sit on that all day long. Yeah. And that's the issue here.
Check this out.
Super creative. Here are some things though, because I saw this from John Owning, and I like some of the stuff that he's
doing.
On average, NFL quarterbacks targeted hitch curl routes on 14.8% of pass plays.
Okay.
That's not including plays nullified by penalty. So that's on average in week 1, NFL quarterbacks hitch and curl routes on 14.8%. In this game, Dak targeted those 23% of the time. Whoa. So he was higher than the league average on those specific types of routes. Week 1, obviously a small sample size, correct?
Yes.
John Owning says in 2021, Dak targeted hitch curl routes on 19% of plays. The league average was 16%.
So he likes that route.
The slants and hitches accounted for 46.2 of Dak's targets in week 1, while the NFL average was 23%. So Dak targeted those routes, the hitches and the slants, quick slants, almost twice as often as the NFL average.
Isn't that kind of a Jason Garrett influence? As much as we want to think Kellen Moore is not influenced by Jason Garrett, that was one of his major mentors so far in his career.
That is absolutely correct, Mike. And that's something that I think that the Joneses thought, we got a wonderkin here. He was running it. He was running the offenses that he'd been taught. And maybe he had a little more confidence with Dak, and he convinced Dak to be a little more confident in what they were doing. But it seems like, based on what we're looking at, this is the very conservative side of the Cowboys offense that goes to, hey, we aren't going to be the number 1 scoring offense in the league this year. That's with Dak in the game not even the entire game there. They weren't pushing the ball downfield. They were afraid to. And I don't know at what point you look at the offensive line and go, you know what? They're actually holding up just a little bit here.
Yeah.
I know the fear of that's not Connor McGovern out there, which is nobody's ever said that before, but
are you starting that trend?
Maybe so. I know the fear of, oh my gosh, is Biotic gonna is he doing his job, or is Farnow gonna what's going on here? The fear of Tyler Smith at left tackle. Maybe Tyler Smith did look good because they were getting the ball out quickly, because they weren't holding on to the ball very long. But those things were a good defense picked it up real fast, understood the Cowboys' limitations, and then exposed it. And that's what happened in this game a lot. There was something else that I
Yeah. So first of all, I want to say this: they need to get some better football guys on the fan. Yeah, they got too many radio guys. They need football guys, because if they was really talking real football, they wouldn't have been saying Dak right there. The system was over targeting the slant routes and the hook routes.
That's what I was.
But they were saying Dak doing it. So you telling me Dak is the one with the play sheet? You telling me Dak is the one with this vision? See, they need to feel that they need to mix their slots a little bit. I'm glad those guys got great radio voices and all that, and I know that's important to the business. But when you trying to talk real and you trying to give real answers, then you need to say what it is. And I'm just telling you straight up, most of those guys even sitting on that show are not football guys. I heard them have a conversation today that was pathetic on a football level. They were saying, should a receiver slow down because Dak might throw behind them? I'm like, you having that conversation? Are you serious? Are you serious? Damn, they get paid to say that? Them boys getting a check to say that. I was like, damn, I need to go put in my resume or something. My Lord. I mean, but they need football guys. So that was the major problem with that. But the other side of what they were saying exposes that this Kellen Moore stuff is a dink and duck thing. And it goes with what you were saying you saw Law in training camp.
Same thing. This has been going on since 2007. And I don't know why people just can't see that. This is the same offense. The thing is different that Kellen Moore does, just a little bit different. Pre-snap motion. That's the only thing. And for the life of me, I'm seeing the exact same offense. Now, what changed when Tony Romo got into that thing, and I know when I bring up Tony Romo, everybody think, okay, Dak should be Tony Romo, and Dak ain't Tony Romo, blah, blah, blah. But Tony Romo said, bump it, kill. I'm just going to go to Dez. I'm 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 going to go to Dez.
Right.
F what this dude calling. I'm going to go to Dez. And then when Scott Linehan got a chance to get his hands on Dak Prescott, he said it himself. I like Dak Prescott because he run the play that I call. He run the play that I call. And then in 2018, although this was before Kellen Moore was the offensive coordinator, but I think Kellen Moore was still in the building. Amari Cooper spoke out then. Hey, man, just give me the ball, man. I'm the playmaker, man. I'm the guy. But he silently said it, and he got canned for that, right? Yep. Fast forward until last year. He pointed out and said, hey, target me. I believe I can make some things happen. And I was listening to your show earlier today, boss, and you brought back something that you said, I believe, in March or something like that.
What's that, big dog?
When old boy said, hey, target me. And then the next game versus the Washington football team, they targeted Amari Cooper. He went off early in the game. But then the post conference, when they talked to Kellen Moore, that brother lied to kick it. He said, no.
He did.
We didn't target. We didn't
target him on purpose.
But you know, and I know, and Tupac and Biggie know that's dead and gone. They know that the first at least 15 to 20 plays are what?
Scripted. Talk long.
I digress.
So, yo, I gotta hit say
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go.
Rewind that part. Long killed it, man. Let's go. All right, I got another subject real quick.
And shout out to the landlord real quick, man. Thanks for the $5.
I got him. Trust me, I got him on the super chat.
All right.
I'm gonna catch all them up. Curse out. Solution. Cox. Go.
Big game.
Let him play the position he played in college and did very, very well. I think he's a natural, big, strong safety that can cover slots and tight ends. And you put him in there, he'll be like a fish in water. He'll do just fine. Being depending upon how his leg is, and I haven't seen him run in space, having to cut and cover with shifty, quicker guys. That would be my only question. If that leg is pretty healthy, he'll be in good shape. If that leg is not all the way right, he doesn't have his start ready, he could get exposed.
I still bet on.
All right, can I jump in that? Can I jump on that?
Please.
You just said OC. That was Jabril Cox you were speaking of, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I love everything you said, but this is the Cowboys, and this is the front office. And I heard Stephen Jones saying, got Israel Mukamu, who's built just like J-Ron Curse, and he's okay, and he will be able to do it just like that. So when I hear your idea, I love it. But once again, I don't get excited because I hear Stephen Jones saying, Israel Mukamu, who, yes, he had a great preseason, okay, but he ain't nothing like no J-Ron damn Curse, okay? Only in height. That's it. They're saying he has the same body type. He'll be all right. He'll be able to slide right in and do that. No, he's not. He's going to get exposed because he's still green in the area and teams going to attack him. And I don't think we're going to let that alpha coach, Dan Quinn, throw J-Rod Curse in there. I mean, Jabril Cox in there because he ain't going to be alpha enough to get it off.
Man, big. That boy big.
Big is ruthless, man.
Yo,
Big is
ruthless,
ruthless, man.
Especially when he take the hat
I want to
off,
jump
man.
in on this. I want to jump in on this one. Go ahead, Law.
I truly believe that this upcoming game, if we start talking about this upcoming game, I would prefer to still have Izzy to be an active day guy, but at free safety, not down inside the box. I like Jabril Cox. We talked to him, and he was very glowingly. Ain't that right, boss? About
don't say it. Don't say it.
Certain spot on the
Positions.
team. Not positions. So that's all I'm saying. I ain't gonna leak out the stuff, but I'm telling you guys, when you look back at the preseason game, I want you guys to look at the total tackles and who led, and you will see Jabril Cox second on that list because Devin Harper was really on that list. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now that if you go back and watch Leighton Vander Esch tape, the brother tried, but he just wasn't popping like I want him to as the Mike linebacker. And this is no shade at LVE because now that you guys want to say that, this is not an alpha coach, you may have a point with that part right there, then. Because LVE don't belong. Look, I'm going to tell y'all something. Oh my God! I gotta say this. In this Detroit Lions versus the Eagles game, there was a certain guy that was drafted that my guy, Boss Cowboys, pointed out and said that dude is a thumper. He played for the Detroit Lions, and his name is Rodriguez. Y'all know, y'all heard about him. I know y'all heard about him. If he were
Oklahoma State.
If he were on the Cowboys, he would have been just like Devin Harper, inactive or on the bench. But when you look at that
inactive,
tape, if you look up that tape, that dude was flying everywhere. I want the Cowboys to stop playing the political game because I'm quite sure if Devin Harper, I'm just switching over from Devin Harper. If Devin Harper was out there, he would have had a gang of tackles last game.
Ooh wee.
Play the dog. Play the dog, boss, please.
Where you at? Hold on. Where you at, bro?
Play the dog.
I promise y'all, man.
Play that.
Nah, I agree with you though, but big right. That part,
I feel you.
But
I agree with you, Law. But there it is.
Yeah.
It ain't happening.
All that booty, and I ain't even looking at it. I ain't even looking at it because I don't believe.
We got all these great. We see it from afar. OC sees it. You see it, boss. Law, we all see this, man.
Fade
And
out.
we all talk about this. And I feel like the only way that this is going to change, that we got to continue to put this in the air and continue to put
That's
pressure.
it.
And the only
That's
way,
it.
like I said, it's going to happen really is if they lose, though, fellas. That's just the
I
truth
agree,
of it,
big.
man. I mean, no matter
agree.
what we talk about
We gotta
back
get
and forth
embarrassed.
about Kellen Moore, these plays, the defense, the only way there's going to be change is if Dallas lose. Because as long as if they stay competitive, I'm telling y'all, if Dallas offense looks some kind of decent with Cooper Rush, they're going to jump out there, and Jerry Jones might be the first one to stick out his damn chest. I told y'all he good. See, I told you. Because he's always the first one. When they make a big play or they win a big game, he comes on the air the next day, y'all. See? What I tell y'all about Zeke? What I tell you? Or what I tell you about that player? He want to be the first to tell you what I tell you. So I'm telling y'all, if they look good with Cooper Rush, they ain't really changing nothing. It's got to crash and burn for there to be any kind of change in the Dallas Cowboys, period.
And it's going to probably be the wrong change. But this is my opinion on this matter. Because, I do understand the debate of Israel versus Jabril versus Curse. To me, to the OC's point, if his leg hold up, which I think he will, man, I'm going with Curse all day. Just because of the nature of the big.
You mean Cox?
You mean yeah. Curse out.
Cox.
Thank you. Y'all correcting me. Thank you. I misspoke.
Again.
So, I'm going with Cox all day. And this is why. Because they already put him at middle linebacker.
Right.
If you have a Curse that's able to play the big nickel with his coverage ability, you really can stay in the base defense almost the entire game. Because now you're not worried about a matchup of a slot. Because see, with Curse, if a little slot guy came out there with 11 personnel, you would have to sub him out because of the matchup. But with Jabril, you can just let him go out there and cover whoever. Like literally whoever. So that makes it very hard on the offense. And plus he'll be playing a strong side, which is a better fit for him. And let me ask y'all, especially when you look at how Curse was being a run fitter.
Yeah.
Let me just ask y'all a question. Knowing Curse was a run fitter and aggressive and a great tackler, who would you rather trust? Israel or Jabril when it comes down to being an enforcer down in the box? I'm going with Jabril.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, we're going with Cox. We ain't even thinking about Montgomery being physical because that was his problem coming out of college. And last year, that's what they were talking about him. He got to get more physical. And even when we watched him in preseason, we can all agree he showed some playmaking plays. But he's still not, when you see him tackle, he's still kind of brittle. His body, the way his body's built, it's not built like Curse. It is not built like Cox. So you remember how you saw Donovan Wilson? You loved how he was aggressive, but his body type couldn't take his own hits. So when he slammed into somebody, he would get hurt. I feel like that's what will happen to Mukamo if he start coming down in the box. His body ain't built up enough, and he'll catch injuries, in my opinion.
That big nickel is real. Great point. You gonna be down in there, man.
Good game by Donovan Wilson last game too, though.
Good game. Good game by the homie. Good game by the homie. But you're right. Based on the build, everything say go with Jabril. It's just, let's be honest, because we know he'll beta. I know he'll beta. Some people don't think he'll beta. He'll beta. It's going to be do front office want that to happen. That's what it's really about. Because right now, front office been showing that they got their fingerprint even on personnel. If you ain't peeped that, you ain't paying attention.
Damn act together.
Man.
That's a fact,
Hell
bro.
yeah.
They got and it's on both sides of the ball.
It is. Right.
People think, it's just on the offense. No, it's on defense too. So
it's all through.
Yeah, it's all through. Like when he said socks and jocks, he wasn't playing, bro. He got his hands all the way in the socks right now.
Yeah.
With good coaches, man. Jerry and them crazy. Yeah. All right. Now I want to get y'all thoughts real quick on, just to give a little bit of content from you guys on the Bengals, because we talked about preparation for the Bengals. So let's just get into that just real quick. What's y'all general thoughts as we getting ready to go up there? Not go up there. We getting ready to face the Bengals at home. We'll start with you, OC.
Yeah, man. I mean, here's the thing when you talk about the Bengals, man. Bengals got Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's a good quarterback. They got Jamar Chase. He's a problem. It don't matter who your secondary is, man. That dude is a great wide receiver. They got a good tight end. They're adequate at running the football. So I think that the defense, again, will have his work cut out for us in terms of slowing down that Cincinnati offense and keeping them off the board for 4 quarters. Now, I think here's the deal when you talk about dealing with the Cincinnati defense versus our offense. I think that, hey, they got some pieces, but we should be able to have some success versus the Cincinnati Bengals. But we're going to have to commit to running the football 25 to 30 times in this football game. If we commit to running the football, and I believe that Zeke will be ready to go, Pollard will be ready to go, run downhill, use the 21 personnel, let Jake Ferguson and Schultz get busy up the seams. Kind of like back in the day how Belichick used to use Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez when they both came into the league. Because I don't think you have the pieces outside to challenge the defense, but I think those guys are big and good enough. They can box out, and you can run some curls with those guys. You can run some hitches. You can run, some zone routes, and then work CeeDee Lamb up the seam a little bit more once you get those guys going. So if you do that, you got a real good chance to win this football game. But if you don't call a good game offensively, you're going to struggle. And at some point, Joe Burrow and those guys, they're going to put some points on the board because they got some good players. So it's, can we do the right things, run the ball enough, use the play action to actually win this game? It's a toss-up right now, Boss Cowboy. Inquiring minds want to know, so I want to sit back and watch it and see how it plays out.
All right. Well, I'll kind of give my quick thoughts on it and then let y'all go. I want to hear you guys. My quick thoughts on it, kind of bouncing off what OC says. I feel like the Dallas Cowboys have to win the time of possession game. They have to really be able to slow this game down, in my opinion. And how you slow the game down, you got to run. The offensive line did hold up. Ezekiel Elliott had 52 or 53 yards on 10 carries, so he averaged 5 yards a carry. You need to get Tony Pollard involved as well. He had 8 carries for 8-9 yards. So I really feel like you need to do that. Also, when you're looking at this lineup, I think Dallas is going to have to really bring it on that defensive side because just like you said, Dallas gave up 127 yards or 129 yards to Leonard Fournette, right? I said this run defense, as much as I love this defense, that run defense was going to be a big question for me, and it's already let me down that first game. Joe Mixon is not a bum running back.
No.
I feel like they're going to use him in this game because they're going to look at that last game and say, they got a good defense, but let's test that run defense again. The good thing about Dallas is that the offensive line with the Bengals is not that good. And so that's where they really need to exploit it, blitz those A and B gaps, get those guys after there. But you got a Higgins, you got Boyd, you got Chase, you got Hurst, you got 4 guys, right? And we know Joe Burrow is a comeback guy. So my worry is, going into this is, can we get first downs? Can we get time of possession? Because we're going to need to do that because we just saw in that Pittsburgh game, right, fellas? Joe Burrow threw four picks in that game, and they still could have won it, right? They still could have won it. They still could have brought it back and win. So as good as Dallas can play defensively all game, Burrow and them can have one big drive and win it because Dallas don't have no points. So ball control, running the ball. I'm not going to sit there and say exploit matchups because they don't do it. So just hopefully, Ezekiel Elliott, they don't do it. So I'm not going to talk about matchups. They ain't exploiting them. I feel like, what we really need? Getting ready to hand it over to you guys. We need turnovers on defense, y'all. We need some defensive turnovers.
We need more than one. and then the emphasis for the Cincinnati Bengals will be, let's not turn the ball over. If we don't turn the ball over, we win the game. What if I told you that the time of possession the Bengals had versus the Steelers they played against? They had the ball for 43 minutes. The Steelers had the ball for 26. But here's the crazy thing as I look at those stats. Joe Burrow threw for 4 interceptions. He had 2 fumbles, and the team was still balanced. The guy that we need to look out for is Hayden Hurst. He was a very intricate factor in that game. He had 5 catches for 46 yards, 9.2 yards per catch, but those were first down catches, by the way. And when you look at that game, they ran the ball 33 times. Write that down. That was a balanced approach. They ran the ball 33 times. Joe Mixon had 82 yards. Out of the 33 times, Joe Burrow ran the ball 6 times. He had 47 yards, so he's not afraid to run it himself. And think about this. We talk about these things before. Using your running back who can get underneath and wiggle and get upfield. Joe Mixon had 7 receptions for 63 yards. Let me repeat, 7 receptions for 63 yards. And on top of that, Jamar Chase, he had 10 receptions for 129, meaning that he can find space. He can get the top off the defense, and he can do that end-around reverse sweep. They won't be doing all of that trickery BS that we see over here in Cowboys land. This is a well-balanced team. They love to run. They love to open up things for Joe Burrow, and that will be the situation here. So how do we stop this? Well, I heard last week, Cowboy Nation, and everyone that's listening, that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had a porous offensive line, a horrid offensive line. And it seems as if though Tom Brady could build the Twin Tower again on 9/11, right? So I come here to tell you guys this right here. I don't want to hear that the Cincinnati Bengals had a horrid offensive line and we can't get pressure. We need to figure out ways to put pressure on Joe Burrows and get somebody else outside of Parsons to get sacks. Hey, this needs to be your guy.
DeMarcus Lawrence.
James, I want to kick it back over to you.
Thank you, my segue.
Thank you for my segue. Big Game James, take it over.
I'm about to do it. Thank you, Law, because Law Nation is right. They gave up 7 sacks against these Bengals, dog. It can't just be Parsons. We had 2 sacks in that game. 2, and they were big sacks. Stop possessions. They were about to put it in and score touchdowns. And can I use Law's thing? Dare I say, if Micah Parsons was not playing in that game, they probably would have scored touchdowns. Dare I say, because it wouldn't have been D-Law, would it? Well, we need you, D-Law, because you talk every week. You say this, you say that. Well, we need you on that opposite side. If you're going against Leo Collins or something like that, to whip his butt and do 3 sacks, because all you had was 4 tackles, no pressures, no hurries, no hits, and no sacks in that game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I don't want to hear that noise from him. You better show up in this game because the Dallas Cowboys need you.
Well, I'm going to say something before you go, boss, because I think this is really important. It's hard to jump back in on this. Here's a caveat that is going to be important as we go forward. The draft pick out of Ole Miss, Sam Williams has to get indoctrinated. He has to get some pass rush on 3rd down, because I'm going to tell you something, and I'm not being a hater. I'm saying what I saw. D. Lawrence is getting a little bit older. He's starting to show a little bit of age on that wiggle and that bend around these tackles. And so you got to get some production from the rookie Sam Williams. They need to develop him, because these other guys bash him and ghost him. These are not sack guys. They're not sack guys. I'm telling you, they're not going to beat decent tackles one-on-one. You're going to have to begin to groom Sam Williams and get this guy up to speed so he can give you some production, man. We're going to need it.
Man, y'all gonna get off my boy Tank. No, I ain't mad at y'all. No. I'm just playing, dog. I'm just playing.
Key third down play.
Here the key one. Yeah, one play. He's a great run defender.
I ain't mad at you.
He's a great run defender.
Don't change, Big. For real. No, don't change.
Don't change no Big Game, James.
I've got balls of steel.
I mean, honestly, we got to run the ball.
Run the ball.
I mean, and then that L that we took it should be a good lesson to us, right? Don't get cute. Right. It was working. We was running downhill. You could see the confidence of our offensive line. They looked like they wanted to run the ball. Everybody out there was being very physical to try to help out Zeke. I'm talking about everybody.
Even
this
Forniak.
looked like Forniak was out there trying to lay balls out. I loved it.
Yeah.
Go to that, Kelly. You know, the pressure on you. And we've been hearing from the bosses. I heard from Steven and Jerry. And they gave a little subtle critique of Kelly. It never was to the point, Big. It never was to the point. But they did say, we did go away from the running game when it was working. See, that's their way of protecting Kellen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's their way of
Yeah, boss.
critiquing Kellen. So they like, hey son, run the ball. See, they go pat him. You know how we do when we got little girls. You know what I mean? We got little girls. We don't spank them like boys. We spank them like.
Yeah.
That's how they did Kellen. So they saying, Kellen, go run the ball. So that's what we got to do. We definitely got to run the ball. We got to do a lot of 12 personnel. Slow the game down. Because they could be also trying to run the ball on us. And we got to stop the run. We got to be way better at run stoppage than what we were. And that's also why I'm for Cox playing the big nickel. Because I want as many run stoppers in there as possible. So let me get to these super chats real quick, and then we'll get into them final words because I got a lot of super chats to get to. So, all right, here we go, and then y'all catch y'all's up too, obviously.
Okay.
Let me get to all these super chats, man. I want to get to all y'all.
You over there on fire, man.
Man, I'm talking about man. You know, they got a lot of love for Boss Cowboys Sports, man.
They definitely do. Shout out.
I'm still trying to get one of them $100 tips like you got, though. I still ain't got that yet.
Hey, they add up when you get 5, 10, 8, 9, 13, 12, and 20.
So Bob Hicks said Dan Quinn recruited Dan Fowler at Florida. We will not win a Super Bowl until we stop getting these puppets. Yeah, at head coach. Yeah, absolutely, bro. So let me see. And then this dude said, my boy said, check it out. Tell me why we set all our dogs like Harper, Bell, McCormick, Cox, Bland, and all them physical cats. I don't know. Then Q said real quick, Kellen's system can't beat cover 2. San Fran, Denver, LA, Tampa, they all play cover 2. And it's also a little bit more than cover 2.
Quarters. They play that quarters, man. That shit killed Kellen Moore.
And it's the fact that Kellen keep throwing into it too.
Right.
So run. Thank you. Yeah. See, like we said it at the same time, bro.
They supposed to run on that defense, man.
You supposed to run on that, dog. He said time to get Dez Bryant and start cussing folk. Yeah, I agree. You know. And then B-Bird said, he said Dak stood by when they got rid of Dez and Coop. He did.
Let me interject right quick on one thing too. On that quarters defense, let me tell you how crazy it is. When you catch a team with like 6 and 7 DBs, you can keep running on it and then don't allow them to sub. Keep the light bodies out there and force them to take a timeout or something. We don't do that at all in Cowboys land.
Man, thank you, Lord.
That's the strategy, but we don't do that. And even, look, and it's to this degree, and OC would know it too, even if you get like 2 or 3 yards, you know the next one gonna hit because those light DBs, boss, you play DB, those light DBs.
Yeah, I don't want that.
You don't want that.
Man,
you gonna quit on the third, like the second or third. You gonna be like, man,
bro,
come on,
I'm
coach.
out.
You patting your head.
I'm chilling.
And then they'll be like, you can't sub because they hurry up. We don't do that. I wish we do that, man.
Man, say, Coach Moore said it best. We've been calling Kellen Moore genius, and it's really looking like he drawn with crayons.
The Crayola boy. They're going to call him Crayola boy. If that's a cap boy, there's a Crayola boy.
Man, that's real sad that Devin White said, we just watched the film from last year, and we knew how to beat y'all. Yeah. You didn't even change up how you played us from last year. You pathetic, dog. So, Pastor Q said, this sounds like a deacon meeting. Board meeting. That was when we was all arguing. Yeah, that was when we was all arguing. Yeah. So anyway, I got all my super chats caught up, man. What you got over the law and Big?
What you got, Big?
We dry over here.
Man, hey, man, y'all put some donations.
I got a few of them. They way up there. All right, we ain't tripping. Warren Duncan said he got the $5 holiday sale. We need guys that hit big and gonna make you pay, even if they want to smell the ball. I guess he was referring to Jabril Cox when you're talking about the safety position.
Makes sense. I like that.
Yes, indeed.
Say real quick, man. Also, oh man, I didn't want to hit that. My bad.
Picasso.
Oh man, I got all these Picassos, man. My buttons ain't working right.
That's good.
None of my buttons working right.
Leonardo, Da Vinci.
Oh man,
Da Vinci Code.
Oh,
long as it don't show nothing crazy.
I ain't got no freaking digits, I promise you. Oh, hold on. I didn't get to you. Oh, landlord. Let me get landlord in here.
I got landlord over here, man.
Boy, landlord be paying them chips, man. I appreciate you, big dog. My boy say players are hopeless with bad coaching. If you do what he says, you're gonna suck and get called trash. Facts, dog. And that was my whole thing is, how do you blame your quarterback when the defense telling you we know what y'all doing?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But people still over here like, but Dak can audible. Dak, he got the play sheet. Dak is what the? Come on, man.
Hey, I was listening to it, and this is my recall on this, boss. You was talking to one podcast, and I listened to it about 4 or 5 months ago, or maybe 7 months ago. You was talking about on a kickoff return, your coach was like, hey, kick it to the number one guy that was in the league, in the state. And you was like, man, I was like, man, we ain't gonna do this. We ain't gonna listen to coach. And y'all all had to be in on it to not listen to coach. Yeah. But you had to have a leader to really start it up, because the shortest man on the team, or the guy that don't have a lot of iron in the fire, he can't do that.
No. Yeah. We was like, we not kicking it to Hodges. No. And we onside kicked 4 times and recovered 4.
Yep. That's the
and won the game by 1 point. Yeah, because we knew it was dumb. We was like, we ain't kicking it to the number one dude in the state. And this is the sad part. On the 5th kickoff, coach got mad at us to say, I'm gonna hurt y'all from getting y'all scholarships if y'all don't kick it deep. Y'all need to show that y'all listen to y'all coaches. And we was like, man, you can't mess with our scholarships.
Yeah.
Kicked it deep.
This is what I'm going to do for sake of time, though, man. I'm just going to give a shout-out to those who donated, and then when the next time I go live, I'll read those. But shout-out to Landlord from Alabama. Thank you for your donation. It goes a long way. Shout-out to your Cowboy Culture. I love that name, man. I don't like that name at all. I love it. Shout-out to your Church Hill for your donations. Shout-out to your Keith Floyd. Thank you so much for your support. Angelo, Fisher, Sadiqua, thank you, and Sonny. Thank all of y'all for y'all donations and all what y'all do for the nation to help elevate this. It really means a lot, Cowboy Nation, especially when you're independent like us, man. We don't have things just pouring out of the sky, unlimited budget, man. But you guys help rock us, man, to the best way, and I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, man, and shout out to Law, man. My boy Law is too humble, man. Do y'all know Law is the biggest independent YouTuber in the world? Did y'all know that? I say it because Law ain't gonna say it. He just too humble.
Appreciate it, man.
We looking at the biggest. He would never say it because he's very humble. But this guy right here is the biggest independent YouTuber in the world.
Appreciate it, man.
And I'm telling you from being with the homie. He told me before, he said, boss, I can't go to the zoo. I was like, yeah, right. Man, you walk down the street with Law just once. Yeah. Just once. Just once. Boy, it's going to be, I swear, this is what I see all the time. I see this.
Yep.
I be like, yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's him, bro. That is him. Is that? That's him, bro. Yeah, that's him. That's Law. That's Law. I swear to God, it don't matter where we at. We could be sitting at the Waffle House, 2 in the morning. Right. Somebody go say, "Hey, are you that guy that look like Arden?" Final words. So with the final words, man, I'll say this: starting it off, kicking it off. We got whooped, but I'd rather us get whooped early. I'd rather us get exposed early. And I'm happy that the finger is starting to point more so at Kellen Moore. I've been waiting on this day for a long time. Obviously, I'm still hoping that he turns around. I still even believe in Kellen Moore because I know the adjustment is a tweak. He needs to add one part to his system, and I think his system will take off like a train. He needs to make a change to where his system can then start to attack the matchups. And his system does not do that. But until his system does not do that, it's going to continue to be fool's gold. But now, at first, I'm going to say it like this. Michael Irvin's voice wasn't good enough. Troy Aikman's voice against Kellen Moore wasn't good enough. Jimmy Johnson, when he called out Kellen Moore, it wasn't good enough. When Kurt Warner did a video, it wasn't good enough. When Dez Bryant spoke out about the system and he was talking about Amari, it wasn't good enough. When Romo spoke about it and said, initially it's going to work. But, y'all remember that but?
Right, that booty.
Defenses is going to catch up. And when they do, they go figure out your tendencies. That's exactly what Romo said. And with all of that, the Joneses did nothing. But sometimes that's one thing that can get your attention. What my boy Big Game James said. Getting slapped in your mouth. And then the captain of the defense going out loud and saying, we knew what your OC was doing. Put it in your face, Jerry. So hopefully, Jerry and Steven, this touch your pride. That's my final word. Because y'all didn't listen to your Hall of Famers. Y'all didn't listen to guys who played for y'all, who earned gold jackets. Y'all didn't listen to none of them. You didn't listen to the 88s. 2 88s warned you about this system. 2 of your own 88s, and you did not listen. Maybe you listened to this butt whooping. Maybe you listened to this guy putting it in your face. Maybe then, and Big Game James is right. Shout out to Big. All of y'all owe him an apology. This is why he never drunk no off-season Kool-Aid. Because we needed this slap. I'm glad we took the slap. Now let's get better from the slap. That's my final word.
That's a good one right there, man.
That's a great one.
Yes, indeed.
Listen.
Thank you.
It's only 4 things that the Cowboys need to do to be competitive and have a chance to win this football game. Number 1, commit to running the football a variety of ways out of a variety of looks and formations. Number 2, play action pass the football while moving CeeDee Lamb around and also targeting your tight ends underneath. Number 3, stay in the appropriate run package, which has Quentin Bohanna anchor in the middle of that defense. He played like a grown man. He's growing up fast. Keep your eye on him. Avoid underneath packages when you have Armstrong and Golson having to defend the run versus big, strong tackles because they got ate up last week. Number 3, commit to let Micah Parsons get as many opportunities to rush Joe Burrow as possible because he's the real playmaker on that defense. And if you do that, at the end of the game, you just might have a chance to win. That's my final word.
That's some good stuff.
Y'all,
you and Boston. Oh, you and Boston. Give me another hand clap.
That boy big cooler than the fan.
Yeah.
He said, yeah. Hey, you're killing it. Let me give a few shout outs to 3 guys, gave me some super chats, and I'm going to jump off right here. Coach Marv, shout out to the $5 holler. Shout out to James Tyson for the $20 holler. And shout out to Smoke for you for the $2 holler. Shout out to all of y'all. And now, just bouncing off both of you guys, I love what both of y'all just said, man. I love what y'all said. But guess what?
Oh, no, don't put the dog
I'm ready. Where the dog at? Hold on, where my dog at? Roof.
But guess what?
Roof. Where my dog
What did they be saying? When they got that meme and they got him and said, I don't believe you. That's what that's where I'm coming from. See, I don't believe this. Because see, everything you guys are saying are
don't
correct.
Believe the hype.
Everything you guys are saying correct. But you just seen there hasn't been change since last year.
Right.
Everybody in America said change, and you're still the same. So I'm sorry, I don't have any confidence that you're going to change next Sunday or the week after that or the week after that. I don't have any confidence in that. And there's too much pride in that front office for there to be change unless you keep getting smacked in your face. Now, I know Cowboys fans, we don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. I love my team. We don't want to hear it. But that is the only way there's going to be change, because I'm going to tell you something. Once again, if that offense looks good with Cooper Rush, if they move the ball with Cooper Rush, if they stay afloat with Cooper Rush, There ain't gonna be no change. And we're gonna get fooled and get smacked again in those playoffs. And then we're gonna say the same old thing again. So I'm not falling for that foolishness that they talking about there over in Dallas land, because the only way they're going to be changed in this system and for the Dallas Cowboys to finally move up into the upper echelon of anything is they got to get smacked in the mouth. Because if they get smacked in the mouth, they going to do the same damn thing. And that's my final one.
I love it. Listen, hold on. Before you go, Law, dog, landlord in the building, bro. Check this out. This is the ultimate compliment. That boy say Big Game James hit different after an L.
Just go over there, man. He the king, boy. Big Game James.
Listen, it make you appreciate it, bro. Let me say this one more thing. Just one more before you go, Law. Because the off season is the time of illogical optimism. It is.
Illogical optimism.
It's illogical optimism that happens all the time in the off season, and then the reality. Once kickoff happened, all that hope and all that. What are you guys ready? You know what I'm saying? And you appreciate boys like Big Game James. Shout out to the landlord. Go ahead, Law. My bad. I ain't mean to get in the way you fight a word.
You good, man, because Big Game James is like, man, you ain't Jesus Christ. You may be Leroy Christ. I believe Big Game James in the past was Thomas. And Jesus was like, man, God, dog, come on, man. Here you go, man. Here go my hands, man. Here go my hands. Here go my hands.
Leroy Christ.
Leroy Christ. And then Big Game James ain't gonna just take the word. He gonna have to Big Game
Thomas.
James is that dude. Big Game James is
I'm not
Thomas,
mad
really.
at Thomas.
No,
Down
like,
Thomas.
Big Game James was Thomas. He like, you ain't Jesus Christ. You Leroy.
You ain't Jesus, man. I need to see the hoes, big dog. If I don't see no hoes, it ain't him. It's we saw a guy walk on water. We done saw all of that, and he still died. He still died. That king ain't supposed to die. I need to see the hoes.
Prophets, man. Yeah, too many false prophets out there. Can't believe it.
Facts. Man.
You know, he gonna have his hands out there. So Big Game James, you not finna receive what I'm about to say, because I'm finna stir this Kool-Aid up once again.
Here we go.
You got to stir it. Go ahead and stir it. Go ahead and stir it.
Go.
Stir it.
I'm gonna make
Go.
you
Stir it.
sip.
Stir it.
You gonna have to.
Boy, let me see how you make this Kool-Aid after this embarrassing L. I gotta watch you work. Let me watch this.
Hey, wait a minute now. Let me tell you something now. As we pass the communion juice around of Kool-Aid, by the way. This is what's going to happen. Normally in the past, what he learned from his boss, right? Jason Garrett.
Right.
Remember when we talk about Jason Garrett, he will always make the adjustments, not in the game, but the next game, right? So now what's going to happen in this Cincinnati versus the Dallas Cowboys, lo and behold, they're going to run the ball, and on top of that, that's going to open up the passing lane for Cooper Rush to look like the next great Tom Brady, who we just played. Watch. Cooper Rush going to have an unbelievable game, because he's going to step and climb up in the pocket. We're going to be running the ball. We're going to get back to that, which was winning philosophy. On top of that, we got an angry Michael Parsons. I'm going to get back over the defense. Michael Parsons is angry. He called Leonard Fournette the P word, the poo nanny. He said that, hey, you hit me while I wasn't looking. I'm going to come out here and I'm going to showcase to everybody that I am the defensive player of the year. Watch, Parsons is going to go off, and I hope that be the confidence trickleate throughout this entire defensive front, whereas D-Law going to get some. I think Malik Hooker was close to getting some interceptions last game, so you're going to see the elevation of that. Trayvon Diggs is really peed off too, so I can't wait to see this defense be angry. We was embarrassed last game. Keep in mind, Tom Brady was 58 touchdowns to 0 interceptions when he was in the red zone. I think that Tom Brady is one of the guys that you can really look back and say, man, that's the GOAT. I promise you, not many teams will be able to do what Tom Brady did, right? So I'm looking at this defense is going to be an impact, X factor to the game. We going to win this game. It may be a close. It's not going to be a blowout. At least the expectation from when I do my call-in show, nobody going to say, well, the Cowboys are going to score 40 points or 30 points. Now the expectation is teetered down a little bit. The Kool-Aid is getting measured. I think that we pull off on this game in a close one, just like what we did against the LA Chargers last year in week 2. That's my thoughts of this second game.
Exactly. Thank you.
You just gotta touch it, man. You just gotta touch it, and then we'll see post game. I'm gonna want you guys on my show because I'm gonna be ready to stare
I'm
at
gonna be on there.
Yes, and then I'm gonna send y'all a link or something.
And boy, when it's bad, I'm gonna jump on there with the dog face.
I just wanna run it up.
Come on, baby.
Can we check or something? I've been really in the field, let up,
Really in the field.
I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Yeah, man.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal.
Hey, let's not
Lately,
quit
I just
yet.
wanna run it up.
No quitting, baby. We ain't quitting. Not after game 1. Come on, y'all.
Kinda check us on.
Come on, y'all.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Man,
Count that too, count it up.
common sense, man. Thank you for the $5 super chat, man.
Need
Let's
them
get
ones,
it.
I need them 5s, need them 10s, I need that change to the safe, got blues
Donations,
inside.
man. Donations, man. Thank y'all.
Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with
Let's
T,
get
like
it,
I'm
man.
with Revan now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with
I
Jay,
love
yeah,
it,
I'm
man.
with Chuck and now. Still the
Yeah,
same,
man.
I
We
switch
appreciate
inside,
the
no,
love
it's
to the
that
final word,
loyalty.
man. We really do,
Use the
man. We
size
really
off for
do,
the
man.
bag, and
Thank
that's
y'all.
worth more to me.
Thank y'all.
I mix Nike
Share
with
the
designer,
content,
I
hit the
experiment.
like. Don't
You
sell
just
us
rock
out
what's
by
on the
not
shelf
doing
and
the
I'm
little
not
things,
feeling
man.
it. Search
No
for the one,
pre-snap
but baby
penalties
girl,
like
it's not
Steele.
the
Let's go.
greatest. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too
Too
legit.
legit.
I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.